Hello everyone and welcome to the Fallout 4 mod spotlight. First up today we have Lowered Weapons by Lesmer666, and this adds a nice little animation that actually lowers your weapon in first person rather than it being constantly in the I'm ready to shoot you position. It's pretty cool. I think it takes it from the idling position that you can usually see in third person, which for some reason they didn't put it in first person. I don't know why. It's one of those things, but hey, modders are fixing it, so it's all good. As you can see with larger weapons like the minigun, it frees up a lot more of the screen so you can actually see where you're going and what you're doing, which I quite like. It's pretty cool. I would like to see like a little delay, which I think he's planning on adding once he can, but of course it's kind of limited without the creation kit, but it's an excellent job so far. As you can see in combat, it's pretty much like shoot and then down, and back down again. See, yeah, it needs that delay, and I think then it'll just be perfect. It's pretty fun, much more immersive, which I like. And now we have something that you've probably noticed was missing but wasn't quite sure what it was. Pitboys Shadows by MacGuffin. And this simply adds dynamic shadows to the Pip-Boy light and to lights on any headgear as well. And you can actually have them separate mods if you want. There's an optional one where you can just have it for your headgear if you don't want it on the Pip-Boy. Look at that, dynamic shadows actually being cast properly. It was missing, I think. Once I realised it was missing, it was like, oh god, it's a bit much, isn't it? Not having that, but there we go. Look, it's lovely. Proper dynamic shadows from your Pip-Boy light. They even get stronger the closer you get to the thing that's casting the shadow. Oh, and of course she gets in the way. But look, gets stronger. Excellent. Just what was needed. And now we have a pretty cool texture mod. This is Fallout Texture Overhaul for Pip-Boy by Gorgula. This adds an Ultra HD 4K texture. I think there is an optional 2K one if you need a lower res. Look at the details it adds on. That's just so much better than it just looking like a plastic Pip-Boy. There's even an optional one that adds a bit of a shine if you want it to have more of a metallic look. But just look at the detail on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So well done. Now, of course, you probably don't look up at the sky all that often, but this is Radiant Clouds and Fogs by Manga Club. And this changes the textures for the clouds and the fog to something more detailed. Now, admittedly, the vanilla ones are pretty good from the distance you see them from, but this just adds that extra kind of height depth to them. Actually feels like clouds at different altitudes now. It's pretty cool. They're a bit more light and fluffy. It might not be to everyone's taste over the vanilla, but I think it works quite well. And this is pretty much the view you're going to get when you're wandering around. Admittedly, I'm looking a little bit higher than I normally do when I'm wandering around ready to shoot, but still, they are pretty gorgeous during the day. Absolutely lovely. Lovely sense of depth to them, which I quite like. And finally today we have the Immersive Mouth and Teeth by Clarence. And this simply adjusts the textures for the teeth and the mouth to look much more detailed, crisp. It may not be immediately apparent, but you will notice that teeth are whiter, they stand out that little bit more. And it's really, really cool that you can actually see the characters have teeth now, rather than just sort of a gaping black hole when they're actually talking to you. And that's all for this week's Fallout 4 Mods Spotlight. Thank you all for watching, and I shall be back next week with a brand new episode.